There are kids in this world who are different, special. In this episode, we'll be breaking down the 19th episode of 6 Minute Season 4, piece by piece. Well, hello, Review Pop listeners. It's your host, Landon Mueller. Now, we are here today to talk about episode 19 of 6 Minute Season 4, called Out to the Pages of Holiday's Origin Story. And we are joined here today by the actress who not only voices Angel in 6 Minute Season 4, but also plays Tessie in Tomorrow, The Continuing Adventures of Annie Warbucks, Gabriella Scott. Hey, Gabriella, thank you so much for joining me.
Hello.
So, yeah, I mean, just, the elephant in the room, this is a re-record, because, sometimes in, recording, there's just, those little mistakes that, can lead to, just huge mistakes in recording. So, my gain on my microphone was a little high. So, that's why, the audio was just, unusable. But, thank you to my wonderful guest, who agreed to do a re-record. And, I think, just this conversation is, just so great, being able to, talk about 6 minutes, which we both love, so much. So, thank you, Gabriella. Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, it's, just so great. And, some of these questions, I think, they really speak, for your character. And I also, just love that opportunity, to be able to speak from my heart and talk about 6 minutes, because, I think, 6 minutes speaks to, just so many people. And, the storytelling, I think it's so great. So, yeah. For the first question, I asked this before, but, I guess, how has it been, stepping into, a pre-existing role like Angelica Graves? Because, as I said, before, Angelica Graves has been, just so popular amongst, 6 Minutes fans, and, I think it's just, I think, in, season 1 and season 2, we saw, Angelica Graves as Heartless, but, now in, season 4, we see a younger version of Angelica Graves.
At first, I didn't know, I didn't know, what was going on, because it was, a while before I found out who I was. I thought I was just a different separate character, but now I try to keep in mind who everybody is already in love with, what the fans are in love with in Angelica Graves, and try to think to myself how she would act when she was younger. But I'm just glad that everyone's liking it and it's not too stark of a contrast between us. But yeah,
absolutely. And I'm just thinking, GZM never really writes a character for no reason. There's always a reason behind it, and I think every character is paid off. Even characters like Penn, who were introduced in season 3, as we've learned, characters like Penn have really paid off, and just helped improve the story, improve the storyline. And I love the direction that we're seeing in season 4, and just all these characters that we've been introduced to, and they always have a payoff, which I love, how GZM does that. They do it in, such a fashion that is just, just a wonderful reveal of sorts. Well, I asked this before, but I think it's a great question, We're talking about, how when we found out that Holiday was a robot and not a human, would you like, to talk about that once again? Just that, emotions that you're feeling when you found out the truth about Holiday, and, just how that affected your, view on the story, in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had discussed that was probably the biggest wow moment. There are many, but that was probably the biggest one for me, because I thought she was normal like everyone else, and then it was wow, this is such an important thing, because we have AI now and everything too, so it is playing on that, but she's still very much real, whereas in our case, obviously AI is not, but she still loves her family, and she has that sense of emotion that obviously the AI doesn't have. But yeah, so that was just insane, mind blow moment.
As it's, kind of said in 6 minutes, Holiday has, more humanism in her, than a lot of, humans in, the real, 6 minutes universe.
I probably started like my first I didn't know anything like existed. Really. I thought it was just like talk podcasts, like where people just sit down and have a conversation. But when I started learning French, it said like you should listen to a bunch of things that have the language like in order to learn faster. So then that's when I discovered like some like children's audio podcasts, like audio drama type things, reading stories and things like that. And then when I got Tomorrow, when I was Tessie, that's when I finally like, whoa, really started listening to them. And I was like, wait, this is like so cool because it's a whole nother realm of entertainment that I feel like most people would never like just randomly like stumble into unless they had a reason. And then I saw some like horror ones and things like that. And then I also listened to like true crime. So those were some of them as well. And I just feel like it's such a different medium and it needs to be appreciated more.
Yeah, I mean, I think, just that kind of content is very niche. It's very niche, as, I like to say, because, there's not a lot of it. It's, I've heard, it's less than 5% of, all of the, audio content, all of the, audio podcasts. Of course, it's gotten, more popular after, shows like 6 Minutes and, The Unexplainable Disappearance of Mars Patel. But, I think it's, just started to be, just very appreciated. I love, that form of content, You don't need to, have a screen to, tell a story, and it's really in people's voices, and you can just feel the emotion running through their veins. Every time I listen to 6 Minutes and just all of those emotional moments, I think they always hit home to me and just really speak to me. So, I talked about this before, but, I got hooked around episode 7 of 6 Minutes, and yeah, I mean, I feel like, 6 Minutes had me hooked from the very start. Do you, like, besides, the big, moment of reveal about, Holiday, what did you think of the parents? Did you think they were bad or, good from the start when you, first started listening?
When I first started listening, I thought I knew for sure that the parents were like so evil. And then they weren't. So I was like, wait a minute, there are more enemies? Like the villains just kept popping up. So it like really made you want to keep listening because you're like, wait, is this person really a villain or is this like another trick? So yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, how about we get into this week's episode? I really thought, this week's episode, really spoke to me, just the character of, Angel in general and, the way that she's presented. It's kind of a different light in this, this week's episode. And, I love that. I love that we get to, expand on, Angel's character and we get to see a different side of her.
Don't listen to her. She doesn't need a ride. Thanks, though. Bye.
Brynleigh, what are you doing? Don't you have a flight to catch?
Uh-huh. In 9 hours. You sure seem to be in a hurry to get away, though.
As I talked about last time, Kady wants to lead her own life. She's in a difficult position, just facing Brynleigh, because, we've, learned that Brynleigh is not easy to face. But, she's hiding the fact that, I think she really does care about Brynleigh. She, feels as though she has to, just stay strong, to, remain, I guess, neutral.
I was just like thinking about it further now. And I love how like Brynleigh didn't expect her to actually go to like where her parents are supposed to be, even though like she already knew that Kady scheduled these flights like in order to go there. That's just so funny to me that Brynleigh's like, wait, you were like being serious?
In or out, ladies.
Later, Alaska.
That's it! Later, Alaska! After everything!
Brynleigh is like, she acts, even though they've been through a lot together as Kady and Brynleigh, it's like Brynleigh has, I guess, well, entitlement has like bad connotation, but like, yeah, entitlement of like, you're my mother, you're supposed to be here. But Kady doesn't have that relationship with her. Like, she's not thinking of her as her daughter. She's like, I'm growing up. Like, this is just my normal growing up, like, time. And now you're just saying that, oh, I'm supposed to act like your mother and, like, care for you and stuff, like, But she just wants to go back to her normal life and finally get what was ripped away from her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Brynleigh needs to picture as though, she's in Kady's shoes because, she never really thinks about, what Kady's going through, just the experience that, Kady is facing and, just these, very difficult times.
Taxi! 23rd Avenue Northwest in Ballard. And hurry!
As I said before, I feel like, Brynleigh is always prepared to do anything, anytime. We've seen this, throughout, previous seasons. She went to, rescue Cyrus in Neverland. She lives in the moment, I feel like. And, sometimes people, definitely struggle, just to be able to live in the moment and, always be, prepared for what to do, not have that, anxiety. Just being, prepared to, help, the people that she loves.
Yeah. Definitely. All the way. Everything you just said.
Listen, I get you don't want to be in this place, but don't take it out on me.
Don't take it out on you? You're literally the person who brought me here.
You gave yourself up, remember?
I feel like Angel definitely still wants to keep him safe, even though she knows she can't explicitly help him out of the situation. She just has to do what she's told, but she still wants with the little bit of control she has, she wants to try to use it to let Cyrus know you can trust me a little bit,
Based off the situation, I'd imagine, she has, kind of a home at Whittier Corp and, just kind of a sad life.
Do you know what that place is like?
I do, actually.
Oh.
Even though we're not in the nursery in this week's episode, I think, the nursery has always, just given me the chills, as I like to say, because, it's just a very interesting place.
Yeah, I think it's, so creepy. It's almost giving me, orphanage, throwback to Annie. I love Annie so much. Oh my goodness. It's so amazing. It's awesome. I literally had memorized scenes and songs, but just very not a place you want to be at all. So the fact that Angel's yeah, I do know actually Cyrus, then it's ooh, what has Angel been through,
There she goes. She's headed up the walkway. Oh no, she stopped. Is she crying? Huh, she does have a heart. Go on, Kady.
I love, that little play-by-play, as said in Rewind. I mean, it's very audio drama. Brynleigh is, the supporter of, Kady in the situation, even if, she may be upset with, Kady. She's interested, by the fact that she's going to see, her grandparents, I think. Well, Kady's parents and, her grandparents.
And also, the fact that Brynleigh didn't immediately get out and, run after her and just start yapping, she definitely showed, self-control, and she, still gave her that moment to do, what she set out to do. Brynleigh was okay, I'll let you, go up there and see your parents. I won't just bombard you. So, yeah.
Here she comes! She's stepping onto the porch. She's... Wait! Who the heck is that?
Oh, yes, cliffhanger. I mean, I just love, little, mini cliffhangers like that. We've seen, just so many, wonderful little, cliffhangers like that. And yeah, I think back to, season 1 of 6 Minutes and season 2 of 6 Minutes, just thinking of, who the 4 is. Did you have, any idea, whatsoever, who you thought, the 4 were?
Not at all. Not at all. And I definitely did not think that Holiday was with those people at first. That was crazy.
Whatever Whittier is offering you, don't take it.
Don't worry, I wasn't planning on it.
Why not?
Because JP Whittier is a monster.
Yeah, as we were talking about before, just the relationship between, Angel and Cyrus. So, did you, picture this, going into Cyrus the Lost Tapes?
Gosh. Well, I was just gonna say, it's she's trying to hold on to whatever, because she knows that she had a good experience in Florida with him, being his friend. So it's she still longs for that friendship, because back in the Lost Tapes, she was saying that, yeah, he's probably my first friend ever. So it probably tears her up inside, the fact that she has to do these things. But she still wants to have him as that friend. So she still sometimes does friend like things. When she bought him the pretzel, she didn't have to do that. She did it because she wanted to.
Now, can we talk candidly?
You tell me. Why do you need my help? You have questions about where I came from? You're such a genius, figure it out.
You're right, Cyrus. It's unfair of me to demand honesty from you when I can't offer you the same.
Dr. Whittier always presents himself as, oh, I'm Mr. Nice Guy, but I've done all these bad things. His words do not match, the actions and, just the things he's done.
Sometimes I feel a little bad for him, but then I have to remember that he's bad. But I feel like Cyrus is very much judging the oldest version of him. But I feel like Cyrus just completely lost all of the sympathy that he had for him, regarding his daughter. Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to someone very dear to me.
Hello there.
Holiday?
Who's Holiday? My name is Adelaide.
I mean, I think, Val did a great job, making her voice, sound, slightly younger. So I can definitely see, that, Adelaide sounds, just very, well put together, as said in, Rewind, maybe she's wearing a, school uniform. Just thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
And that'll end up, yeah, absolutely. And, that'll end the episode. Until next time, this is Landon saying, peace, love, and time travel.